And we are live. If you can hear me, send me text. Send me text. Yeah. Good morning. People come in. People coming in. I didn't sleep worth of nothing last night. Worth of nothing at all. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Pull up the chair. Come on in. I'm over here sharing myself and all that stuff while we get folks in here. Good morning, good morning. How was everybody's Valentine's? If you celebrate or, you know, what was that? Good morning. Can y'all hear us? I'm not seeing any comments yet. Not seeing no comments. No comments. Hmm. Sorry, you seeing any comments? Oh, wait, what? There they go. There they go. There they go. I see them now. There they go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Lynn. I see y'all now. Come on in the room. Come on. I see y'all. Good morning. I thought something was broke. Thought something was broke. Welcome. Good morning,
Oh,
everybody.
I'm on mute.
Welcome to another. Oh, welcome. Sorry. I didn't. I was about to.
What you saying sorry for?
I was about to do the opening. You popped right in.
Go
Good
ahead.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sip and Chat. You're here with your host with the most summer and her next host with the most Steph.
Steph's Corner in Summer's room.
Yes, sorry.
Hey y'all, good morning. How y'all feeling? How did y'all sleep?
Oof, like
I hope
crap.
I hope whoever celebrated yesterday enjoyed their day. I hope you didn't get too much sleep last night and you enjoyed yourself a little bit too much. Good morning. If you are here catching the replay, our replay watchers, we want to say thank you so much for supporting our page. We appreciate you. Don't forget the hashtag replay in the comments or hit those share buttons because we appreciate you. Yes, for those who are confused, we're live. I like to say hey to the replayers in the beginning so when they come on, they know we didn't forget about them. But what's up, y'all? Well, I ain't get much sleep because I was up pretty late last night
Oh,
for good reason.
okay, good.
I know from that freaking live. I was up pretty late
Oof.
last night. I fell asleep trying to edit a video, child. But yeah, today is a new day, and we got some things to talk about. So y'all hit that share button as you guys come in. Sharon is Karen. Please make sure you go subscribe to us on YouTube at Sipping the Chat. That's two S's, IPANDCHAT on YouTube. Go hit the subscribe button. As soon as we get to enough followers, we will start to go live from there soon. So start the stream there soon. So make sure y'all following so you don't miss an episode. Oh, child. Let's see what we finna get into.
I am dragging my mom in there cooking breakfast too. Am I here? My thing just went off. Am I here? What the hey?
Thank you for the tags, Jamie. Can y'all hear me? I don't know what stuff got going on over there. Hey, December. I like your name.
Okay, I'm okay now. I can hear.
Hey, Donna. We could always hear you, Steph. Hey, Lynn.
My bad. I couldn't hear nothing else.
Well, cause it's just you. I wasn't on here. I was on mute.
Oh, my bad.
Like what? Y-
Y'all, my butt is dragging.
Child.
I'm so,
One thing I never wonder. Cause girl, he go hard.
no. That was something else. I was up entirely too late.
Uh,
My brain was overstimulated.
hey, Sierra.
Good
Whew.
morning, y'all.
Child, you want to start it off?
Oh, yeah. So, uh, our topic, right? Yeah, our topic for today, as you can see, is about the young lady in Kansas City. She, mistakenly placed her child in an oven instead of the crib. So, I kind of been reading on it, and she is very young. I've never gone through childbirth. I don't know. Um, I don't, so I can't say what hormonal changes and all that stuff that women go through during postpartum and stuff like that. Everything after birth, during birth. I don't know what happens. So, at first, when I very first it popped on news, I'm like, the first thing in my head was, could this have been a postpartum depression type of triggering type of thing? That is there not a trigger warning? I thought we put a trigger warning. But yeah, I thought this has to be, something, because anybody else and with the right frame of mind knows how to decipher between the two. But what got me is I wish there was a little more. I know they can't really give all kind of details, but I really just wish how did what made the phone call come through? Who it was the baby was only just like right at a month old.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Was the baby little? Sounds like postpartum psychosis, which is something that needs to be talked about more for sure. Yeah, right. I started reading, trying to read and figure out like because I don't know how to fit into that category to even try to speak on that part of it. I thought it was a month old. Was it? No, I don't think the
No,
baby
what are
was.
y'all talking? The baby was only a month old. I think y'all
Yeah, this
mixing up
baby. Yeah, you're probably.
stories.
So I have the article pulled up. I was going to kind of read it to give some insight to those who haven't heard of it yet.
Good morning, nice to
So,
China.
so this is from the news, the local news in that area. It says a Kansas City, Missouri mother has been arrested and charged in the death of her 1 month old infant after allegedly mistakenly placing the baby in an oven instead of a crib. Um, Her name's Mariah Thompson. She's 26 years old. She's been charged with Class A first degree endangering the welfare of a child and the death of her baby. It says so. It says police officers were dispatched to a residence in the Manheim Park neighborhood of Kansas City around 1:30 p.m. local time Friday, responding to a call about a non-breathing infant. Upon arrival, officers observed the infant victim had apparent burn wounds, according to the documents. The fire department responded and declared the 1 month old deceased at the scene. Thomas alleged she was putting the child down for a nap and accidentally mistakenly placed the child in the oven instead of the crib. I thought I put the baby in her crib and I accidentally put her in the oven, Thomas allegedly told the infant's grandfather, who gave a statement to police. So, so I just answered my own question. So apparently, maybe the grandfather is the one who called. So yeah,
Well,
so that is the story.
yeah. So, hey guys. Yeah, this happened like I think like 4 days ago or something like that. I feel like it was not even. I don't think this story is even a week old. I had been searching, but there are not a lot of details. But um, we can assume. I want to assume, right? Because based off some of the stuff that I've seen on her page, the young lady's page, we all know that she was young, but it seemed like she was striving to be a good mom. She had hopes for her daughter and motherhood. Right here, she said, she talked about her daughter being 2 months, turning 2 months the following month, which would have been this month, and how she was proud of being a mother. This is from her Facebook page. She wrote that on January 22nd. So, you know, postpartum and mental health looks different for everyone, but her page, her timeline from when she wrote about her daughter, she seemed like she was, um, at least from what we can see, like in a good place or whatnot. So, from what Steph just read, is she said that she put the baby down for a nap and she mistakenly put the baby in the oven. But it's no detail, so we don't know. We can't really answer that question. One can speculate and say maybe she was cooking at the time and had the oven on. Maybe she was about to put something in the oven and preheated the oven. It's just a bunch of speculation at this point because they haven't released any details. I went and checked as much as this morning, but I can only assume that maybe, um, because I did read on her page where she partied, she drank. I don't know if she was currently drinking like after she had the baby, but I'm like, could it have been a situation where she was inebriated, or I don't know, like drunk and thought she did one thing and she did another. Um, one report that I read, it was one of her friends spoke up to the police because she did get arrested, and she's currently pending charges for um endangering a child welfare and the death of a child. Right now, after speaking with her, that's what they decided to do, was take her in and charge her. And one of the friends spoke up and said that they believe she may have been suffering some mental health issues. They spoke about how they believe she suffered from mental health issues in the past, like prior to becoming a mom. And they think that coupled along with having the baby, that she suffered with some postpartum. And so both of those things together, they think is, she may have had like a psychotic break or something and really didn't realize what she was doing, um, which is unfortunate because it resulted in a baby losing, her life. She was so small. She was a beautiful baby. I just can't understand why these mothers do things like this. And I get PP depression. I went through that with two of my kids, but never had any kind of thoughts like that. Yeah, well, postpartum depression is different for everybody. Some people are on the lighter end, where some people suffer on a more serious, like dramatic. Not, I don't want to say dramatic because it's kind of like I feel like putting sauce on it, but a more like a serious condition. There are mothers that disconnect. There are mothers that go through postpartum depression and want nothing to do with their baby. I mean, like the baby will be there just crying. And if nobody else is there to get that baby will continue to cry and the mother will not look after it. It's kind of like they almost hate the child. And there are mothers who suffer from postpartum depression that actually causes harm to their child. Unfortunately, it's great. I'm happy that what you went through, Jamie, was something on the lower end of the totem pole, but postpartum depression can become super serious and definitely can result in the loss of a life, like if untreated or undetected. Um, and this is actually why, from my understanding, most, if not all, hospitals normally check on your mental health. Like when you go in for those checks, they just not checking the baby, they checking you too, because mothers have been known to harm their child when going through it. I don't know exactly what causes postpartum depression. I know it has to do with hormones, or whatnot, but outside of that, I can't wrap my head around why this would be a thing, like for someone who just gave birth to something that came from inside of them. You know what I'm saying? But postpartum can get really ugly. Um, really ugly. And it's still, even with me knowing that, it's still hard to fathom because I'm like, but you the mom. I went through what I believe was it wasn't postpartum. It was, I call it uh pre I forget the actual term, but I went through a depression concerning my child while I was pregnant. It wasn't post, it wasn't after birth, it was during. Um and I was afraid of how I would feel once she got here. So I thank God every day that once she arrived and I held her, it was like instant love because I didn't know, where me and Shorty was going to be at, because it was not a happy experience, for me. And that was the first time I think I've ever experienced depression on a level where I was able to actually like identify that yes, I'm depressed. I need to go talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Oh, it's very hard to understand. We will never understand it, I don't think. Postpartum depression can turn into a psychosis, though, causing a psychotic break. Right, Heather? It can get very scary. Very scary. Very scary. So, keep the prayers of the family and that baby, uplift them. I don't know them personally, but stuff like this, even though I don't know people personally, you can't help but to be like, damn, for it to touch you because of what it involves. I feel like I sound like Kermit the Frog.
I mean, you was talking for a long time last night.
Hmm.
Nights in China said my mom was in prison with a woman that did that. She got
You
jealous
skipped
because her
ahead.
hubby. Oh, did I?
Oh, I don't see that.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, go ahead. Mm, I'm
All right.
minding your business.
My mom was in prison with a woman that did that. She got jealous because her hubby was paying more attention to the baby. My mom says that you would have never thought she would do that because she was such a sweet baby.
Wow. Yeah, that happens. Jealousy of the baby. That's a part of it.
Mm.
Is like why y'all giving all this attention. I don't know. It's crazy.
Mm.
Like because her husband was paying attention to the baby. Oof. There is also postpartum psychosis, which gets really bad. Stephanie said postpartum is serious, and so many women don't realize they have, and they do. I did. I was depressed after my first son was born. Didn't realize it was that. Didn't realize it was that until a few years later. Stephanie, when you went to go get checkups for your child, they didn't check on you. Like that wasn't a check for you. I know, like when I go to the doc, when I was going to the doctor when I was pregnant, that was a question every time. Like they checked on your mental status every time. You would go to the hospital before and after. And it's actually me being honest with those questionnaires is how I was able to get the help like that I needed. I think a lot of times people don't tell the truth. Sometimes you might have a hospital that give you a form, like a questionnaire on a sheet that you fill out. And I think some people be embarrassed to say like, I haven't been feeling myself. I don't feel, this or that. So I feel like some people lie on those sheets, and that's why stuff goes undetected. But let me know your experience, Stephanie. Was your mental health something that was questioned, checked in throughout your pregnancy? I was all the way down in the comments. I'm talking about you, Skip. I skipped.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, I don't know about that story, Jamie. I haven't heard about that story. Good morning, Diane.
Yes, the oven was on. The child had burned.
Yeah, they said that trigger. The child had burns on the body, and when they went to the home, the baby was in a car seat. She had put the so it says that she put the baby in a crib and she called the father. I don't know if they called. I don't know if they meant she called her father or she called the father of the child, but she told them that you need to get home. You need to get home now. And when a person came home, they found the baby. She had put the baby in a crib. What can you imagine walking through your door? She said he walked through the door and it was smoky. And you walk through your door and look into the crib where your loved one is supposed to be a baby and see that sight. I can't imagine what that was like for that person to walk in and possibly not be aware at all what they were going to walk in on, like no forewarning, no nothing. And then the police were called by the grandfather, from my understanding, and she had placed the baby in a car seat. She put the baby in a car seat, and they said the baby had a onesie on, and the onesie was like melted to the diaper. So you put the baby in a car seat after the police were called to tuck the baby in safely, is what I'm getting. So that sounds definitely like some mental health. But I don't know what I would do in a I pray I never have to find out what I would do in a situation where life was taken, gone from a child, and what I would do. Like, I've seen people when loved ones pass away and they will do things that is of no benefit to the actual person because they're no longer here. But I've seen people lotion down a body, uh, you know, brush their hair, kind of make them presentable before like being picked up or transported. Like, because it matters. They want to keep them safe. They want to keep them presentable. Um, you know, it's almost like I don't know. So very sad situation. My mom says that you would have never thought she would do that because she was such a sweet baby. Mm-hmm. You still hear stuff? Oh yeah, I remember this, but there was another woman who did this too. And there was a whole standoff at her home, shaking my head. What is wrong with people? I don't know, Jamie. Mental health is real. That's like all I really could say.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
This piece of garbage. I hate these AirPods, y'all. I'm sorry. So I actually have my niece on the phone, right? She just called me. So I wanted to ask her. She doesn't even know that I was going to ask her this question because I was going to text her and say, hey, when you went for your checkups for Ophelia, did they check on your well being, like your mental state? Did they do all that stuff for you to check? Oh, oh, she laughed.
baby this go around. He seems a little more attentive. It is a man.
Mm. She is 11 weeks pregnant now. So, but yeah. Well, thanks, Kayla. I just wanted to ask you that. Sorry, y'all. I was curious. Yeah, she's got a soon to be 1 year old, and I was curious about how she went. After Oak was born, because I know that my niece suffers from some major mental health issues and struggles in her life. So that kind of just, huh? I don't know.
That sucks. Being an advocate for yourself too,
Mm,
or having someone that loves you that accompanies you to these doctor's appointments so that you feel comfortable with. Sometimes it's super important too. But like having a doctor that cares, um, cannot be compared because a lot of times these are reasons why things don't get treated because they are brushed under the rug. I think they get so accustomed to like women just being hormonal sometimes or just in general certain things just being a natural occurrence that they ignore it, not realizing that just because that person went through this just before me and everything was fine does not mean that's how it's going to turn out for me because we all are different. Our mental health statuses are all different. Like what we are capable of handling and dealing with is all different. And so I think people do a job and they get so used to it, it's like repetitive, and they start missing important cues and marks like that can make all of the difference in somebody's life. So it sucks that she went through that in her first pregnancy. Hopefully this go round is better and that she stands up for herself in a situation like that because it's important that when your needs are not being met or your concerns are not being heard that you understand you could go, elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because like what if that would have been really bad for her? Especially you said she deals with already some mental health. Like what happens if she would have had like a break or something? Ah,
right. So now, see now, and now I want to. I feel like I need to FaceTime her every time she says I have a doctor's appointment. I'll be like, okay, call me so I can make sure they help you
hmm.
because she does. I worried about that in the beginning.
I went too far. Did I read that? Did I read that?
Which one? Oh, I went through postpartum psychosis. I had to get help. I was thinking things that I normally wouldn't think of. It was rough. God is good. I'm
Mm,
so glad you came through that, Nina.
yes.
I remember
See, I
growing up as a kid. I remember a story as a kid. We had someone local who, a mother, she put her kids in the car and just drove them into the lake,
oh,
you know?
so many of those stories have come across like the news though in the
Yeah.
last in a few. It's insane.
Hmm. Yep.
In the lake, you just like, oh, I can't imagine. I don't
Mm-mm.
think that's one of the things that like when I used to think too deeply about like life ending. It was certain things I was like, I do not want to go through certain things,
Yeah, I
drowning,
don't want to
fire.
drown, fire. No,
Like,
I don't.
no, I
Mm-mm.
don't. Like, no. Oh, that sounds horrible. But so many people driving off bridges,
Yep.
running and going into lakes, like so many people. It's sad. Like so many situations, all because someone didn't pay attention.
Right.
And sometimes people seek help, just like you said that was your niece,
Yep. That's my niece.
like your niece. Somebody go and tell, hey, I'm struggling, and they are muffled, brushed under the rug. And then when something like that happens, it'll be like, oh, what happened? She told you she was struggling, and you
Right.
ignored her.
Hmm.
Oh,
That's why I'm glad she's so comfortable coming to me because she knows I deal with certain anxiety and mental health issues. So she does come to me when she's struggling, and I'm glad we have that open relationship, especially when it comes to mental health, because a lot of people won't talk about it.
huh, Jamie? She said, oh, Heather said it's very hard to understand. And Jamie said, I understand completely. Trust me, I've studied that and I've taken psychology, so I get it. But I also think that it's it's hard to determine as well, and some women use that as an excuse. I'm interested to know more about her life. How stable she was before she gave birth. That kind of um,
I
my
do get
thing's
that
scroll. I
some
hate
people
when
will
they do it.
say it, it was a postpartum, I'm it's postpartum. A lot of people think that postpartum just means depression. Postpartum means after pregnancy. A lot of people don't understand that. So when someone says I was postpartum, that means okay, you're after pregnancy. What were you postpartum as? Did you have postpartum
Depression.
uh, depression? Did you have postpartum tearing? Did you have postpartum issues in that, healing? Did you have, just in general, postpartum means after pregnancy. Nights in China said, my sister did that with her fourth child. She would just let her baby boy cry, and I would come over and check on her, and she would be sitting outside, child, poor nephew, just in there wilding.
Now, like, well, how did she do it though? Because you are told that if you have a crying child like that and it's too much or overwhelmed, you're told to walk away. There's been times when I had to walk away from my daughter. She was safe wherever she was, but I would go walk into the other room, and just go breathe for a minute. Sometimes you need to do that, especially if you by yourself and no one is there like to help. Sometimes you need that. So it depends. Nice of China, like, was she just, F that kid, or was she like woo sighing? Because that's a difference. But yeah, I remember having my sister at the house, and my son, he would not sleep. His nights and stuff was off for whatever reason. Although we were on a schedule since day one because I had school and I had work. So baby, we was in the bed by a certain time. We had to schedule. You know what I'm saying? Every day was like clockwork. It was the same thing, same routine. And he would just cry, just like just cry, and couldn't figure out what the freak the boy wanted. You was fed, diaper was changed, walk with you, talk with you. He just would cry. And if my sister wasn't there, I don't know what I would have did because I definitely would leave him in that room inside his bassinet thingy and go right to the living room and sit down. If I smoked cigarettes, I probably would have went through a pack every night, but I didn't smoke.
You sound like me when I babysat
Oh,
Hope
he
the
stressed
first
me
time.
out. He
Ah, that
stressed
was,
me out.
oh, I was so stressed out. It can
That's
be,
true, Helen.
Helen. Yeah, yeah, it can be. Mhm.
That's true, Helen. It's not taking serious. We not taking serious with a lot of things, though. Unfortunately, I think they starting to hear us. Slow motion.
Ain't it sad? What year are we in?
Sheesh.
Could be. Just was saying because some aren't aware that postpartum depression can turn into psychosis. A lot of us still think it's just baby blues and don't want to reach out for help. Just like to educate people. It's my job. Yes,
Yes,
Heather.
that's what they would
Yes.
call it, baby blues. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Baby blues. You be all right,
It.
girl. You get over it. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just got the baby blues. You'll come out of it. Some people don't come out of it. Like some people never get better. You know what I'm? It's people that still suffer years and years and years beyond like giving birth to the child. It never goes away. Um. So yeah.
Uh, it's tragic, and I have so many questions, so I can't really form an opinion without more information. So the article I was reading earlier was 14 hours ago that they added the updates and put the statements in there. The ones I actually read when Summer and I first the topic came up in our chat. Um, when I went to read then, it was very very limited, but now they actually have her statements and stuff in that. So that's at least 14 hours. It's been
You
updated. So
said they have
hopefully,
statements from her.
yes, it's in there saying that she went to put the baby down for a minute. She told police she put the baby down for a nap and thought she put her in her crib.
Oh yeah, that stuff that might just be somebody who was late reporting, but that was in there day one. Um, because I was looking for something with some new information, but I don't think they have released anything, probably because of the situation itself being sensitive. I don't know,
Right.
but it's no like I was trying to see if I could find something where they reported like on her mental health or some background on postpartum depression or Was she drinking? Was she of sound mind? Was she, under the influence of any kind at the time when it came? Like, was she partying? Like, but it's no details. I keep looking. Matter of fact, it's actually is a lady on her page that called herself, I think, her sister. So she had tagged her in something a little while before this happened. I'm gonna go snoop on her page and see if she put anything up, because some of her stuff be public. But it's so many
Um,
unanswered questions right now.
right. I'm pretty sure there'll be more. I know it's just the whole thing that just happened at a hospital here in Atlanta is just now getting info out and hitting Nancy Grace. So it'll come out. Some things will anyway. Also, Heather said, also, I think a lot of times we feel like as mothers, if we admit we're overwhelmed or have depression symptoms, systems, we feel embarrassed or like we're not good mothers if we're being honest. So that's what and that is whether you're a mom or not. Like with my mental illness, I tried to hide it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want, I didn't want people to know about it. So I can only imagine trying to hide your struggle and in your mind saying, if I speak about it, they may, what if they take my new baby? Something like that. So I can,
Yep, yep.
so then you're really not going to say anything.
People be scared that they're gonna
Yeah.
that they yep they do, so they keep it to themselves, because, and that's sad that you have to think, because you suffering due to your hormones, because you are a woman, and it's just unfortunately something that we go through, that you could be penalized for that versus
Yep.
like helped, because taking my baby doesn't, well, in certain situations it might, but generally speaking, like, that's not helping me.
I went through it with both of my boys, but luckily I was on the mother's side. Like I still took care of them, but it was but it was I did go through it. Um,
But it was hard. I did go through it, I
Yeah,
think that's what she
yeah.
meant. Hey
Hey,
Mary,
Mary.
how
Good
you doing, Miss
morning.
Mary?
Yes, prayers for the
Oh,
family and
this
the
is
first responders.
old. Oh my gosh.
Are
Oh
those
God.
those?
Yeah,
I would
because
never want to have to respond to something like that. That would be absolutely devastating
that
to
comment
see.
old. Because remember I said, keep the family and stuff in prayers. That
Oh
was
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
long ago.
So you was way ahead. Let's catch up, y'all. Men over doctors are usually better than women, unfortunately. I had thoughts that I didn't want my baby. I told my best friend if I didn't get help to call CPS, I made her promise me. Dang,
Ooh,
Nina.
that's
Mm,
deep.
mm, mm.
To tell somebody, hey Melissa, that's deep. Child. I don't know where you read that from, so I can't go, but
That was Nina. I'm right here. I'm just trying to scroll and pop out things.
like the work field? No. Mm-mm.
Um,
Oh, I
hey,
see it now.
Jennifer Wilson.
That's
Good morning, Bill.
crazy. She said men OB doctors are usually better than women and more understanding, unfortunately.
And you know what's
Dang.
sad? I can't make myself see men doctors because it's a part of my anxiety, my mental health will not allow me to. I will not see a man doctor unless I'm at the emergency room or something, and I absolutely have no choice.
Mm.
It's crazy. Don't. Ish, that's a whole nother story.
Good morning, Susan. Yeah, a lot of women are like that though. I used to be like that. Just give me woman, just give me woman. I'm pretty sure
Mm-mm-mm.
my husband would prefer that whoever I dealt with was a woman, but baby, I will. Oh no, I don't like you. Get runner up next,
Yeah,
next. Oh, you good? Cause I don't gender is um would be nice to have both, like woman and what I need, but I'm gonna always side with whoever's gonna provide me the best care,
right, right.
But there's some good doctors out there that are women's, good doctors that are men. It just depend on where you are, location, the need, da 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 da. But it's always amazing when you can find both. Oh, I keep yawning. I'm sorry. Jamie said, I've had 5 kids and 2 miscarriages, and I didn't have the same doctors with every one of my pregnancies, so I had different experiences with everyone. Some doctors were proactive with making sure I was okay, then others didn't mention it at all. I think it seemed more now because of the severity of PPD and prevalent it is, so doctors are definitely paying more attention to making sure the mom gets the help and support they need. I will hope so in this day and
I
age,
hope
but
so.
it be sad sometimes, like talking to certain people and like let's for pregnancy and finding out. No, my doctor never asked me those questions. They never. Every time I went to the doctor, the whole way, the very first thing I was that was done was a mental health check every time. And this was across the board. It was just like your intake paperwork, or when you first got to the room, hey, fill this out for me. Shoot, even now, honestly, I think when I go to the doctors now, I still have that form, even afterwards. Mental health, but I guess maybe it just depends on where you are. Uh, your hospital, I don't know, or what they feel like the focus is, maybe in the community or something like that. I don't know, but even now, like even when I take my daughter to the hospital, that's a question. It's like a questionnaire. The doctor asks, "How are you feeling?" This, that, and the third. Like every hospital, every doctor visit, your mental health is checked on. That's pretty dope. I think I was so accustomed to it, I ain't even.
I can't even schedule an appointment without, like, even if I just have a cold or something, I need to schedule an appointment with my doctor. Before they finish setting up my appointment, the first thing they ask me are the standard, mental health questions, my thoughts, and all that stuff. So I would hope that they would do the same thing to a pregnant individual and a postpartum lady. You know, I don't, that just doesn't make sense. That should be a conversation, common sense. Danielle says, I always think it's wise to record conversations with physicians because things can be taken a different direction. Yes, they are mandated reporters, but some work with CPS specifically, and it's sad that women are set up. They take children, don't give them resources, and make them do things that they don't even do themselves. I mean, yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard
your
about
mom.
stuff like that.
Mm,
It's sad.
yeah,
Instead of helping you,
yeah,
the first thing they doing is calling the folks. It's been stories of people that saying like it was nothing wrong, nothing happened. They don't understand, and they end up in a battle with CPS fighting for the kid. I just don't like. This seems very much simple of what happened. Y'all telling me this is a story. People know this is the story. So why is CPS here? Like people had. I don't know. Yeah, they actually told us that in classes we took. It was a CPS, SIDS, and SBS.
yes, the baby blues.
Wow, that's sad. It's just baby blues. You be alright. Baby, I done went and got a new doctor so fast. He wouldn't have seen me. He or she wouldn't have seen me on that schedule no more. Don't ignore my mental health. Don't do that. Like,
Yes, Heather. Oh, sorry.
no, you good.
It just popped up on my screen. I agree, Heather. So y'all know I watch Dr. Phil, and one thing that I hear a lot is, when especially with women who come in um, on that show. I was watching one last night. A week after her pregnancy, they told her she had a BRCA. She had BRCA in her system, which is usually a cancer. Breast cancer usually is a certain BRCA, some type of cancer. So, and it set off this postpartum thing in her to where she's had to start checking her blood sugar level. She was like, it triggered something in her, and it started making her resent the baby, thinking the baby might have done it. Um, And they asked the first question he asked, he said, "Are you still breastfeeding?" And she said, "Well, yeah." And he said, "You do know that it takes the hormones of a postpartum woman a lot longer to even out than it does someone who does not breastfeed." So those who breastfeed and breastfeed for long periods, it takes you longer to get all your stuff back in order.
Wait, what?
So if you okay, so postpartum depression and all this other stuff. If you breastfeed, it actually takes longer for your hormones and everything to balance out than if you don't.
No, I never knew that.
I didn't know that either until I watched Dr. Phil.
He said Dr. Phil. Is that true? Can somebody go look that up? You looked it up, Seth?
Well,
I don't be
no, I
trusting
didn't
these
go
TV
look it up,
shows.
but I just,
I don't be trusting these TV shows.
it's really hard when you don't have support. Oh wait, I mean, yeah. Wait, I mean, oh
Oh,
wait.
you was reading
Sometimes
that?
I did. Yeah, I read hers.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're here. Sometimes they just need love and cuddles, but it's real easy for moms to get touched out too. Having support and having a break is necessary. Even though my husband works many, many hours all day, when he comes home, he immediately helps with our little one. Well, after he showers, because he knows I need to get out of here. I need to be relieved, get a break, shower, whatever I'm eating to get done, or whatever I'm needing to get done. Yeah. And that's just co-parenting. Yeah, or like parenting altogether. It's parenting. It's no, I worked all day. I ain't come home to this. Let me tell you, she did way more than you did. Sorry, I have a dog driving me crazy, y'all. He's over here whining. Jamie said it's really hard when you don't have support. I was 17 when I had my oldest daughter and 19 when I had my oldest son. So I was really young and inexperienced, plus doing it by myself because my piece of poop of a baby daddy up and left us. I don't know how I made it through. I honestly don't, but I did. The postpartum depression I had after my son lasted for over a year. Well, I'm glad you made it through and you're doing good, Jamie. And you have beautiful kids. But yeah, people need help. I remember. Did people even still do this now? When you would have a baby, like all the grandparents would come and try and stay with you, and everybody would just come and help, so you wouldn't have to do really nothing but feed and snuggle during that first little time. People still do that. Yes, they actually
If
told
you got
us.
if you got good family, yeah. You got good family. I think a lot of stuff now is just like is normal. Like you be all right. Like just do it. Just across the board, the helping or not minimizing things because they become normal. I don't think it's. I think it's just. It's just like, oh well, it happened. You ain't the first. You'll get through it. Work it out.
That's the risk we run because they will come in and take the baby if they fear for the child.
Mm, mm, mm.
I mean, to an extent, I get where they are mandated reporters and they have to step in if they get that feeling that something's going to happen. But if I don't know, I'm not a parent, and I've not been through it, so it's really hard for me to try to relate to any type of things like that. But for somebody that suffers from mental health and who would hope that somebody would help me, you know,
Every time you say that,
especially.
I'll be like, how come you can't have? You don't have to have went through it to have an opinion, Steph.
Well, I know, but I feel like it's
I be like, she be sensitive. She don't be wanting to say nothing. She feel like would be whatever. That's what it really do.
Yeah,
See,
it is. Yeah, it is.
I know you a little bit. I know you a
It
little bit. You know,
is.
I'm like, them stepping up and taking the kid because the baby could be in danger is one thing. It's
Right.
understandable. That's what y'all should do, but not after you ignored me telling you I need help, and now my baby is taken because you ignored me telling you I'm going through these things. That's when it's like, are you kidding me right now? I've been telling you for the last 3 months I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time with this, and now that things have come to like almost a head, you want to take my baby. But that's what it is with mental health a lot of times. Like, just generally speaking with mental health, like dealing with it. I had family members who suffer from certain things and we could get no help for them. But the moment they do something that where they harm themselves or harm someone else, that's when people want to step in. But then y'all want to treat them like trash at this point almost because they hurt someone or they did something like to harm themselves. Now they got to be put up in places and locked up for a certain amount of time. But we were trying to get your attention all this time, telling you something not right. They're showing this, they're showing that, and nothing is done. I don't understand with mental health. I don't understand even like legal, like with things in the world dealing with like crime, like threats. When we talk about protective orders and stuff like that, a lot of times, like dealing with domestic violence, a lot of times you can't get help until something actually like serious happens. Everything else is like taken lightly, like a tap on it, like okay, well you can get this piece of paper. What is the paper going to protect somebody? I don't understand that train of like. I don't understand. To me, that it doesn't make sense because now damage is done. For me, I'm like, ain't we trying to avoid damage being done? I mean, that's what makes sense to me. I mean, I don't know. Sorry, y'all. I know y'all probably hear that. I Why wait until after something help happens to do
Right.
something? Why are we not
Protective
preventing?
order is just a piece of paper.
Why are we not right? Like, why are we not preventing? I don't understand. It's so weird
Danielle
to me.
said, "It's so sad to hear these stories, but the government needs to needs to do something for people struggling with mental health. Like our jails and prisons are full of people who suffer from mental health and committed their crimes. You know,
Because somebody ignored them.
right? They didn't have
One under the
anybody to help
radar.
monitor their medication and stuff like that. You know,
hmm And they were
and
like,
it's
they
sad.
got right. So families try to intervene a lot of times, even still,
Right.
nothing. Because they be like, they got rights, because they suffer
Mm-hmm.
from this. Like, you can't just this and that. If I was trying to abuse that, I would understand. But if I'm clearly showing you something is not right, why not do something about it? I remember them telling me like, "Oh, well, we can't do nothing because nobody got hurt." What? Well, I'm trying to avoid that, sir. Like that's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't know what type of time y'all on. I don't want someone to get hurt before something is done.
Right. Only thing I hate about men doctors is them checking my cervix with them big fingers. Oh my god. Oh, you're awesome, mommy. You did what you had to.
Shoot, man, woman, it ain't matter to me. If it was sensitive, if it hurt, it hurt. Big fingers, little fingers, it was uncomfortable. Especially when the baby started moving down in the canal, getting closer, and like getting into position. Oh my gosh.
Uh-uh. Helen said it was an OBGYN nurse, and yes, I saw how women's health was. Helen was an OBGYN nurse, yes. And we had
Ooh.
two female doctors in there that were good that I still go to, but the rest were men, and they were better because they are more understanding. Woman would look at you and be like, "Okay, that's fine. Now get over it."
See, smacks mine in the face, bruh.
Yeah, I just turned 16 a month prior when my first was born, then had my second 9 years later. Yeah, my sisters were teen moms. Helen, quit trying to drive and talk on here, you weirdo. Uh,
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. Helen's my best friend, sister, whatever. I talk to her. Sorry. Sierra, there's no way someone does that by mistake. And if you believe that, you're just as whack as she is. Not you personally. Anybody who could, but anyone who could believe that.
See,
I
but
can't.
statements like that is what's problematic, right? Because you can't be dismissive of the fact that it absolutely could have been because who in their right mind would do something like that?
Right.
Think about like who in their right mind who was everything was good would just say, put my baby in the oven and turn it on. It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't view someone who's suffering from mental health the same as you would someone with a sane mind because and when you're suffering from mental stuff, most of the time it's not something that's in your control. You can't control these thoughts or what's happening in the moment. That's
Right.
why a part of it is called like mental health because you're legit insane in the moment. You're not almost like you're not responsible for yourself because you can't control it, unless you are in some type of therapy and taking some type of medications. And even in instances like that, sometimes people are in therapy, they're doing the work, they're seeing people, they're taking the medication, and they still go through episodes where they cannot control what's happening to them in that moment. If I can't control myself, I shouldn't be not saying that it should be dismissed about the baby being like a life was lost. But in the same time, I'm not going to view someone who had a mental breakdown the same as I would as someone who made a clear conscious decision. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like someone going to pull out a pum pum and aiming it. A lot of times it's a conscious decision. It was like
Right.
premeditated too. It was like, oh, this person did this. This is my retaliation. But that's not the same as a thing. So we got to stop that because that's all the reason stuff like that is why people don't speak up. People won't think of, this or think that or think this. I'm laughed at. It's clown. No, it's very serious. It's very
Oh,
serious. I don't think a sane person, I can't fathom a sane person deciding to just put their baby in the oven. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't. It don't make sense to me.
Alexis, somewhat off topic, but my issue now, which is taking a toll on me and affecting the relationship between my fiance and I, who are my kid's father, but we never get time alone. Don't get date nights, etc. No one to help with the kids, and I feel it's causing our relationship to slowly decline. Any helpful tips? Oof, you're gonna have to put them kids to bed and make a date night on the floor. Put
Yeah.
put them kids to sleep and plan it. Put them to bed and have it set up. You want to sit down. You're going to sit in your living room, your bedroom floor, wherever, and have you a dinner and just have a picnic in the house. Watch you a
Yeah.
movie. Anything can be a date. You don't have to leave your house to do it. Just put your kids to bed, and you're more than likely so tired you'll both fall asleep. But at least you did try.
Yeah, you got to make time for each other. You have to make time. You can't let excuses like, oh, we work, we're exhausted, the kids burnt me out. That's why schedules are important. Put your kids on schedule. Stop letting them run them up. Put the babies on the schedule. Let them go to bed. It's important because bedtime for them is important. A lot of times when kids get on the schedule and they're getting adequate sleep, they won't be as cranky and as unruly because they are getting adequate sleep. A lot of times kids act out because they freaking tired because they're
Yeah.
able to be up till 10, 20, I mean 10, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Put them babies to bed and set and plan something for like if my finances, then yeah, turn your living room or your bedroom into y'all little cute little oasis. You can go to the
Yeah.
Dollar Tree and get all types of cute little trinkets.
Yes, you
Like
can.
you don't have to spend a lot to enjoy yourself as a couple. Y'all just have to make the time and make the effort. Make the time and effort, baby. Because I can put some stuff together with some Dollar Tree. Okay? Go on Pinterest, go on YouTube, go on TikTok. TikTok's my spot. And go get some ideas and make it happen, Captain.
Melissa said my husband felt this a lot when we had kids. When the kids were younger, and we just had to make the best of what we had, knowing it was just us made us stronger. We just had a lot of home at home dates. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Heather
At
said
home,
there's
baby.
Heather said here's another thing. It's very much an American thing for women to have a baby and go back to work 10 to 12
Child.
weeks. I feel like we aren't allowed the time we need after having a baby. It's like boom, have the baby, hurry back to work, clean, cook, take care of the other kids, etc. Say it again.
Child, but there's people like, girl, you had a baby, so what? Get back into it. No, that's not how it used to be. You just went through a real life major event, and so I definitely think that play a part. It's
Good,
downplayed. Oh,
good
you just
morning,
had a baby,
Melissa.
it's nothing. Like what? Excuse you? Excuse you? What you mean it's nothing? You gonna push a watermelon out of your body
Mhm.
after caring for it for 10 months? Are you kidding me?
Good morning, Cupcake. Good morning, Melissa. Zeta said, hey, Zeta, Zamora. My daughter ran away when she was younger. They told me she had to commit a crime to be detained. I was like, wow, what?
Right. It's crazy. That's what I mean. Like these laws and stuff don't make it just don't make sense. What we got the police for? They're supposed to be to protect and serve us is we can't get no service. I don't want service
Um,
after you talking about somebody gotta go to the morgue. I'm trying to prevent that, man. I don't this world is crazy.
good morning,
Sorry, y'all.
Monday.
I just made me some eggs and sausages.
Uh, just, just an example about hallucinations and meds because we know what they had her on. Oh, because we don't know what they had her on. When I was working in a nursing home, I had one of the sweetest residents, and after giving him his medication that the RN on duty had got him prescribed through his doctor in case his appetite to increase his appetite, he started hallucinating. He was saying there were
Mm-hmm.
people under his bed. He was lighting a cigarette inside when he never did that before, and he literally took his briefs off and pooped all over the floor.
Mm-hmm. That's
Woo!
another good question. Was she on some
Good
type of
morning, Alabama.
medication? Was she on some type of something like
Yeah.
hallucinations are a thing? I have someone that suffer from in my family that suffers from multiple personality disorder, I think. And they used to scare the crap out of me. And they couldn't help it. And they was on medication and they were going to therapy. And you would be sitting there with them all of a sudden, it'd be a whole different person. What? No, baby,
Yep.
you can't
Mm-hmm.
when it's bedtime you gotta go. I'm sorry. Mm-mm. No.
Alexa said, "Thank you. Not necessarily that it greatly impacts me, but he's starting to say he's miserable in the home days, etc. I feel like we've been doing for a while. He says he's tired of sitting in the house. Well, I mean, you're a
Well then
parent now, bro.
he need to make an effort. Go get a
You're gonna have
babysitter.
to go find a babysitter.
Go pay for a
Find
babysitter.
something.
You can't complain about something and don't find a
Yeah, you're gonna
solution.
have to. Yeah, tell him, help me find a solution. Do we have a cousin, niece, or nephew that an aunt, someone we can, a sister that we can pay to babysit while we go out on a date? You know,
And
he's
did
got to
she
put the
mention
effort in
finances
there.
was an issue?
I don't know. She didn't say anything like that. She said she didn't have any family or nobody to watch her kids. I have to find you a
I might have
babysitter,
to,
girl.
I might have to vet, for babysitters. Ask people at their school if they're in school or daycares or people you work with. Can you suggest somebody? Unfortunately, sometimes you have to go that route. I know it'd be hard because you don't know people, but
Yeah.
they also have sites you could go on that do
Hmm.
background checks and mental health checks. I forget the name of the
Yeah.
site because my girlfriend put an application on there to be a nanny.
Right. They do have those types of things.
Hmm.
Like every day in the city I live in, or our little town here, we have a Facebook group, and there are so many teenagers. They're saying summer's almost here. Anybody looking for babysitters? So school's almost out. Anyone? It's about to come. Just
That's why
find.
building relationships is
Hmm.
important. Like, I know some people be like, I don't want to be bothered with people because it's always some mess, right? I get it. But going to parent teacher, if I don't know if you have school age kids, but going to parent teacher meetings, creating bonds. If they're in extracurricular activities, talking to those people, like, or the instructors, you have to make Making connections with people open up doors for you. But if you are just like just y'all, it makes it even harder.
Right. Yeah, that's a that's things whenever you them when you start popping out them kids, life
I don't
changes.
know. I don't know where you're from, but like out here we have our I think it's the YMCA. It's the YMCA.
Yeah.
If you're a member there, they have something called date night. And you could take your children there and they will watch your kids, I think, for 3 hours. They'll watch, I think they do it once a month. You could drop your kids off. They have extracurricular activities for them to do, and it's evening hours. I think it's from like 6 to 9. So it's like actually
Oh,
date hours. And you could drop your kids off for 3 hours. And y'all could go do something. You can't go that far, but 3 hours is enough time to go have a nice dinner or something. Um, Close
hmm.
by. So you look into stuff like that. And a lot of times those programs, if you have state insurance or something like that, it's really cheap to sign up. And even stuff like that will open up doors. Because if you start going there, if you go there for like the gym and you let the kid go to their day camp or their daycare center, you build a rapport with people. And even through that, programs like that, those people that work in here, hey, do you babysit like outside of here? Or can I pay you? Is it a, you just got to start building relationships so you can figure out how to make that time for y'all.
Sorry, he dropped knocked my phone out of my hand. Hope it didn't hit nothing. Yeah, you got to make the time. You got to figure it out.
You got affirmations?
I can pull up some really fast. I have them all on my phone. Alexa says I'm going to look into something like that. I'm in a babysitter group for my location. I just haven't looked too much into it. It's hard to trust people. My 3-year-old son is bad. No telling how.
And that's another thing. If you're in mom groups, start linking up with other moms that have kids around your age, so you can learn people. It's
Yeah,
not just a matter of like you don't have to link up with these people and leave your kid. You can link up to learn these people. A lot of times in mom groups, it's people just like you or it's single parents that don't get out a lot and they look forward to stuff like that. That is a way to branch out and find resources, but you have to be willing to make those connections. Take them kids out to them play dates, them jamborees or whatever they call the playhouse things. Meet people.
sure. Never thought of it that way. Well,
Hmm.
yeah.
But we're finna get into our affirmations, you guys. Y'all know what time it is. We're finna do our breathing exercise. If you have the ability to stand in front of a mirror, I ask that you do so. If not, please go find a comfortable place to sit where you could take a few moments to yourself. Nice quiet area because you're going to be closing your eyes. So feel safe wherever you're going to sit at, okay? If you are driving and listening to us or you at work, don't get in trouble. Don't close your eyes. Pay attention to the road. Hands at 10 and 2. Let's drive safe. As you guys are getting into position, I want to remind you that once you get there, you're going to sit, close your eyes, relax. We're going to breathe in through our nose, deep breaths, and then exhale slowly through our mouths. And I want you to focus on your breathing, focus on how your chest rises and fall. And I want you to just, pay attention to your shoulders feeling lighter as you breathe. And we're finna get into it. We're gonna do this 3 times. Breathing in positivity, exhaling negativity. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Let's go. Inhale, exhale. Feel it. Let's do it again. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale. You're letting go of all the thoughts of worry, anxiety, and stress. Anything negative, you blowing it out, you leaving it where it's at. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, exhale. I hear birds chirping. And Steph is going to do some affirmations for us.
Oh, did it unmute me? Okay. Sorry, I thought I was. My bad. I am enough just as I am. I am good at finding solutions to daily struggles. I am exactly who my kids need. My self care is not a luxury, it is a necessity. I'll say that again. My self care is not a luxury, it is a necessity.
Amen.
I know my children best. My children love me because I am their mother. I am kind, generous, and loving. I am not perfect, but I am making progress. I will be confident in myself today, tomorrow, and for today, tomorrow, and for the years to come. My mothering journey will never be done. I'm confident in both my natural and learned abilities as a mother. I'm strong, bold, and confident, and I love who I am becoming. And that's what I have.
Well, we enjoyed you guys. We hope you enjoyed us. Please remember, don't just repeat what you said, but take those words with you. Allow those things to circulate in your mind today. Positive thoughts are important. Let go of those negative thoughts. When stuff happens, let it stay in that moment. Don't carry it with you, baby, because they pile up and they get heavy. We hope to see you guys again. We are here every morning, Monday through Friday, typically 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please be sure to follow us on YouTube at Sip and Chat and our individual pages on Facebook, Stuff's Corner and Summer's Room. And we hope to see you guys again.
Have a good rest of your day, y'all. Bye.
Bye.